Hello my minions and welcome back to another edition of Liberal Media Dismissals. Today we're going to be looking at Sky News, who make J.K.R. Rowling or L. Ron Hubbard look incapable of writing science fiction in comparison. There's many a point in which you could muster yourself, or many examples you could find if you were to just watch Sky News or the BBC continuously. I just highlight particular examples because they highlight for me the points in which I wish to provide. Now, before we go any further, let's sort of come to the conclusion together that the law or people in, say, civil service or police, for instance, they should be neutral, they should be robotic when it comes to opinions. For instance, you shouldn't see a policeman wearing a gay flag because he's meant to be neutral, he's there to defend the law, not show one person who's got an opinion over another person. Not to be offensive to anyone, I'm sure you understand where I'm going. We're meant to look to the law to provide a middle ground, not to make one side feel unequal. You would like to think if you was being judged by a judge that he was weighing up the case evenly and didn't have a prior opinion to you because of discovering your belief system and knowing that your fate was sealed by someone who's biased before it begins. So we have a female barrister here on Sky News who, I mean, Sky News love this. They'd love to just make this rubbish. She turns up. The first time she came about, she put down a bloke who dared to comment on a picture of her saying she was attractive. You know, as if this is the first time that society has ever seen this sort of action. She seems to think that sexual harassment is endemic in the workplace, not just in politics. Now, because most of the time this is just flirting or advances, it's just what you think is flirting or advances. It's not actual assault. So this is down to opinion, isn't it? This is down to hearsay. I know he was trying it on with me. Oh, do that's your opinion. That's not harassment. That's not fact. So you can't say it as an official person. Follow the rules that you are trying to lead by. A clear feminist who is saying, I don't want to be judged by my appearance, I want to be judged by my merit. First of all, you're a barrister, everyone in the courtroom will listen to you, you're very well paid for your position, stop crying. Second, you clearly have a lot of money's worth of makeup on that you clearly spent maybe 30 to 45 minutes putting on. You've got a very expensive haircut that I'm looking at, and you can say, yes, I did this for me, but you didn't spend that long seeing to your appearance. Accidentally, you wanted to be sought after by someone. You want to be admirable in the eyes of the opposite sex. It's not purely a competition with other women. So I'm looking at her and just admiring the pure hypocrisy that's coming out of her mouth. Whilst not giving any one example during the discussion, just saying, it's endemic, it's rife, I've suffered it. Well, you know, I've not heard two examples yet. And she speaks of sexual discrimination. Once again, this comes down to opinion, doesn't it? If I think someone doesn't like me, you know, I'll have my list of reasons, but for a woman, what they'll tend to do is think because it's because they're a woman. But this is purely down to opinion, isn't it? So she came on Saturday, 4th of November, 5:30 in the afternoon. I won't name her in case of being victimised for daring to point out narcissistic hypocrisy at its absolute height. After then saying it's still full of white men using their privilege. This is pure feminist liberal lunacy being advocated by Sky, trying to catch up with America as far as allowing liberals to just go too far, and they're allowing a government, a civil servant, someone we're meant to look to for facts, is stood there saying there's too many white people in charge and that there's a privilege. I'm not excusing any of it. But we're primates. We all know there's pervos out there, and it does happen in every walk of life. The woman I'm looking at, including many, do everything in their power to look attractive. And no, it doesn't excuse it, but modern feminism won't alter the makeup of a man's brain either. And there's very many women that wouldn't have the job in which they have today if they hadn't gone out of their way to look particularly attractive on the day of the interview. Just like there's very many men who had to lie their way into a job. If I'm wrong, please, every feminist, tomorrow drop the makeup, do not wash your hair for days, and then let's see if you have to worry about being treated differently. This has been Mr. Heretic at Revelation Be Damned. As always, think for yourself. No one else will do it for you.